The Ferdinand Town Council discusses a proposed amphitheater in the park, and they're narrowing the search for a town manager. In sports, Kurt Guxell has comments from Coach Tom Crean about last night's IU game. And in tonight's WJTS Inform segment, Glenn Weil tells us about Patoka Valley career and technical education programs. These stories, sports, and weather in the 18 WJTS News. This is the WJTS News. I'm Bill Potter. During last night's Ferdinand Town Council meeting, Council President Ken Seacard took time to express the Council's position in regards to the proposed amphitheater stage project the town has been considering. For the last 5 years, town officials have been looking into building an amphitheater stage to hold various stage events such as concerts, plays, poetry readings, among others. Town officials, including the Ferdinand Park Board, have looked at and considered numerous different spots around town for the stage, most ideally the Ferdinand 18th Street Park. Now, recently, a number of meetings have been held for ideas, thoughts, and other discussions about the proposed project, and during those gatherings and at last month's council meeting, residents expressed either support or opposition to building a stage. Some of the concerns including the possibility of large crowds, music, and noise creating a nuisance for nearby residents. Seacard says over time he and other council members have been receiving a bit of feedback from residents, some for and, as mentioned, some against.
It's very important for us to take into consideration all the things that people are saying for it and against it. Those that don't really want it in their backyard, I can understand that. I can see it. At the same time, I have to look at, what's best for the town. Ron and Debbie both feel the same way, and we just want to take our time and make sure we're making the right decision.
Seacard felt last night's meeting was a good opportunity to let it be known that the council was taking into consideration everything that was being suggested to them. Seacard says all options are being considered and that the council has no intention to rush into the proposed project. Seacard says whichever way the council goes, he wants to make sure it is the right way.
The concern is there, both yays and nays. The nays tend to be the people that live in the area, which is important. I mean, it's their house and it's their property. The yays are coming from all over the place too. We have to pay attention to what everyone's saying and balance it out. And we want to get into the cost structure just deeper, make sure that we're looking at what is a good price. We have prices all over the place. Some of them are very scary. And at the same time, we also want to make sure we've got the right location.
Seacard and other town council members encourage residents to continue to offer suggestions to them and town officials. Also, at last night's town council meeting, President Ken Seacard provided an update on the council's search for a new town manager. The position has been vacant since former town manager Mark Stezik left the job in September to take a position with Kimball office. Seacard says that since the search began, the town has received 14 applications, of which 9 were interviewed. Seacard says 3 of those 9 were granted a second interview, and the council now has what it considered a person of interest. Seacard says the final 3 applicants each had strengths in different areas, and in that the council is working to make sure they decide on the right person for the town of Ferdinand. Seacard says a special meeting to introduce the new town manager could be held by the end of the month. A Huntingburg teen was arrested for minor consumption of alcohol after he was accused of causing a disturbance earlier at the drive-thru of a local fast food restaurant. Huntingburg police arrested 19-year-old Elmas Gabriel Ayala Lopez of Huntingburg for minor consuming after being called to a disturbance at the Wendy's restaurant on the north side of town. A caller reported Lopez was beating on the drive-thru window at the restaurant. Police later located Lopez sitting on a bench in the backyard of a residence at 1100 block of North Jackson Street. When they made contact with Lopez, the officers smelled alcohol on him. During the course of the interview, Lopez became belligerent towards the officers. Officers learned that Lopez was under the age of 21 and charged him with minor consuming with a blood alcohol content of 0.22% and disorderly conduct. He was booked into the Du Bois County Security Center. Rural and volunteer fire departments in 14 southern Indiana counties are getting a boost from a share of more than $314,000 generated by the sale of trees felled in some of the state's forests. DuBois, Martin, Perry, and Crawford counties are among them. The State Department of Natural Resources says Brown County will get the largest portion of the money, or more than $69,000. The DNR's Division of Forestry allocates 15% of timber sale revenue from state forest to counties where the harvests occur. Crawford County will receive over $25,000. Martin County, a little more than $13,000. DuBois County has been allocated just over $6,000, while Perry County will get $559. Each county must share half of that money with rural and volunteer fire departments that have cooperative agreements with the DNR's Fire Control Headquarters. The DNR says 110 rural and volunteer fire departments will benefit from this year's funding. Those departments are encouraged to use the funds to improve their wildland fire fighting abilities. A bipartisan study committee will meet Thursday to discuss how DuBois County would make the switch to vote centers in advance of the 2014 election. The meeting is set for 6 p.m. at the Center for Technology, Innovation, and Manufacturing at Vincennes University Jasper campus, one of the locations the committee is eyeing as a possible vote center site. Under the proposed system, voters would cast ballots at any vote center in the county on Election Day, rather than having to vote at a specific location determined by precinct. Voters would register using electronic poll books. The ability to cast early votes would remain essentially unchanged from the 2012 election. An area auditor has been recognized for a statewide award. Perry County Auditor Connie Berger was recognized as the Outstanding Supportive Auditor of the Year for the state of Indiana. The recognition came during last week's Indiana Association of County Commissioners annual conference, which was held in Indianapolis. Berger joined the Perry County Auditor's Office back in 1982 as a part-time deputy at the old courthouse in Cannelton. She was elected as auditor back in 2006 and was re-elected to the office back in 2010. Berger says she learned a lot from the auditors that she worked for, which included Barbara Goffinette, Marietta Daube, and Debbie Elder. She says all three were good teachers for her. County Administrator Teresa Kenneberg nominated Berger for the award. She wrote in a letter of nomination that Berger was always a go-to person for all departments and officials in the county when someone was in need of information or assistance. In her role as auditor, Berger attends all county commissioner, county council, redevelopment commission, and redevelopment authority meetings. She has also served on a jail planning committee as well as the Perry County Substance Abuse Committee. Weather is coming up next on 18 WJTS TV. We are local people watching local people.